place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
Dragon Ball Super Episode 115 mentioned fusing Android 17 and Android 18 together. And this is the first time we've ever heard this in the anime before. And of course it has been done in Dragon Ball Heroes. These two characters have been fused together to create this sort of hybrid character, and just like Beerus has stated, their compatibility would be what really drives them to success because they are twins. They'd be extremely similar, I believe, but their power and their technique would more than likely be enough to contend with most of the fighters in the tournament. Now, do I want to see this fusion? Of course. I mean, this is an extremely unique fusion. Not only is it the first time that we're seeing a fusion between a girl and a guy, it's the first time we're seeing a fusion of androids. So who knows exactly what we're going to be getting at the end. The last time androids quote-unquote fused together or absorbed each other was with Cell. So I think it would come out with a really interesting and potentially very powerful fusion. But I'm going to explain exactly what I believe would happen if this were to take place in the Tournament of Power. Now, if they were to fuse together, it would take them at their peaks, both the androids at their peaks, and then multiply it 10 times over. Now, when we look at Android 18, I would liken Android 18 to herself back in the Cell Saga. I don't believe that she is much more powerful than that. I think she might be slightly more powerful, maybe as strong as she was in the Majin Buu arc where she was participating in the tournament, but I don't think that she's much more powerful than that because she's been a mom the entire time. I mean, she's been hanging out with Krillin, she hasn't been fighting or anything, and she hasn't, and from what we've seen, from what's been insinuated, she has not been growing in power. Who has been growing in power is Android 17. He is without a doubt one of the upstarts in this tournament because of how he basically went toe-to-toe with Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And it's not like, you know, they were in some sort of death match. From what we've seen so far from Super Saiyan Blue Goku, from Goku in general, he has a lot more stamina left in his, and a lot more tricks left up his sleeve. But 17 was able to combat Goku in his Super Saiyan Blue form, which is not an easy feat, especially not an easy feat for 17 back in the Cell Saga, which is the last time we really saw him in action. And so I would say that 17 would be holding and pushing most of the fusion together, and that's where most of the power would come from, similar to how in Kefla's situation most of the raw power is coming from Kale's side of things. And so with 17, I think this fusion would make a warrior that has extreme fighting sense, where both his halves are working in such amazing unity that in a straight hand-to-hand confrontation, I think this fused warrior would have the upper hand on most of the fighters in the Tournament of Power. Remember, 17 and 18 are essentially a duo, and they worked the best when they were working together. And times have changed. It's not back in the Cell Saga. It's not back in the Android Saga where they were always together. But I believe that even though they've been apart for so long, that they are still compatible when it comes to fighting together. Not only that, but they dearly care for each other, even if they don't admit it. And I believe that aspect of it is an important part of maintaining a stable fusion. Now, who is the majority in this fusion? Who does the character draw on the most? And I believe obviously is going to be 17. Not only is 17 the more powerful of the fusions, but seeing as how 17 and 18's personalities are very similar, I believe that the power alone would push 17 to the forefront. But you may be asking yourself, if their personalities are so similar, then what would it matter who would be pushed to the forefront, who would be the fusion would be drawing the most from? It matters about the sex. I think that the fusion would draw mostly from 17, and thus the fusion would end up being male. I don't think it'd be a hybrid between a male and a female. I think it'd definitely be male. And as far as powers and abilities, I think that this warrior would have the most outstanding stamina. Stamina that is basically unlimited. And I think that it would definitely push the so-called Android 35 to the forefront of confrontations. I think that it'd be a genuine threat, and I think that even Jiren might have to wake up a little bit more to try to see this warrior in action. Anyway guys, that's my explanation on how Android 35, the fusion between Android 17 and 18, would work in the context of the Tournament of Power. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this idea and this fusion. Drop me a like if you haven't already, and subscribe. This is going to be Dragon Ball Black signing off.